Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. Hope you're doing well. Let's jump right into it. Let's get started and let's find out what does the divine want us to know. I would be using my tarot cards. This is Mr. Ali. Mr. Ali is also with us today. Okay, so this collective reading is specifically for people who are either in some kind of counseling job or they are either mentors or teachers, like they are in some kind of supervisor position. Okay, they are handling some kind of people. You could be handling just two or three people also, but those two or three people could be taking care of a huge plethora of activities. So I'm being shown that now is the time when your personal beliefs are going to become, or they're going to go into a higher level. So people, in this collective reading, I'm being shown the energy, a very strong energy of someone who is obsessed. Obsession. This reading seems to be about love and obsession, because all the cards that have come here also are pointing in the same direction. We have the Lovers, we have the Broken Heart, we have the Five of Pentacles. But the rest of the cards are very nice and very positive, so there is definitely a meaning in it. I don't think personally in my life, and I say this to others also, negativity and positivity is duality. And we are here to break free from duality. We are here to learn about singularity. The path to singularity for all of us is duality. Duality is the split of divine masculine and divine feminine energy. Actually, it is the same energy. It is one whole energy. So whatever is happening is to make sure that we all embody this one energy and not operate from separation. That is the real purpose of this journey, and it's also the real purpose of why you are here. So, my dear friends, the first card is the Hierophant, which means that right now whatever is happening to you is happening to make you a better counselor, a better guide, give you more wisdom. If nothing else, then give you more wisdom, because you are handling someone or a person with very obsessive energy. So some of you are already in surrender mode. Some of you could be in runner chaser dynamic, but you could be towards the end of runner chaser dynamic. You are trying to surrender as of now. So you need to learn about the difference between love and obsession. Now, when people are in the divine masculine and divine feminine energy, when they are operating from a separate energy, then they experience obsession. So the feminine feels obsession towards the masculine, the divine masculine. And I'll tell you, initially it is the divine masculine who is obsessed. The first obsession is shown by the masculine energy, because they feel, wow, they've got something so great. But when they do not get the right kind of response, because the love is not yet ripe, the love is still raw. It's not in that stage where you have patience and you have understanding. The masculine first shows to the feminine how obsessed he is towards her, how much he wants her, how much he desires her. He gives her a lot of signs and hints. Maybe, in some cases, because there are different stages I'm being shown. In some cases, it's like he wants to talk to her, because just by talking to each other, their relationship develops hugely. I mean, they could be in a surrounding where they are with other people or with elders, or where they fall in love, it's a very orthodox kind of a place. If not orthodox, it's probably very duty bound and very responsibility bound place. So even if they have genuine feelings for each other, they would not want to just put it out there, because very high vibrational men and women with very high vibration, they don't like to do even time pass with someone. So they are not going to approach a person, or they are not going to reciprocate if someone approaches them, until and unless they are 100% sure about that person or that relationship or that commitment. When they are fully in their mind, in their heart, when it's locked and sealed and it's divine timing, then they will let it flow. So it could be possible that the masculine tried to show this sort of liking or affection or whatever it was in his language, but the feminine did not reciprocate, and then that obsession turned into anger or some kind of frustration or some kind of, like, let's take revenge now, or let's detach, without understanding what can the circumstances be. In some cases, if this is not the case, then maybe they are married to each other and the husband is trying to show the wife how much he loves her. The wife is not yet ready. Maybe she's still going through some kind of confusion, and he takes it personally. He takes it to his heart that she doesn't love me, or she's not as interested in me as I am. But now they have to live the whole life. So you see, twin flame journey is not the same for everyone. There are different scenarios and different situations. In some cases, it could be a long-term affair is going on, a relationship is going on, 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And yet, there are commitment issues, and yet, they have not decided what to do. There are lots of fights, lots of fears, lots of doubts. So could be possible the masculine initially says, okay, I can do this, I can do that. It could also be a case where someone has waited for a while. Like you're friends with someone, or you have some kind of crush on someone and you wait for a long time. I'm talking about romantic stuff because today it popped up as romantic stuff, but it could also be platonic, and I will explain that to you a bit later. So watch this video till the end to get whatever answers that resonate with you today. You're not here by coincidence. You're here obviously because you're meant to be here. So I would be happy if you get whatever you're looking for. If you don't get what you're looking for, then please feel free to ask questions, because sometimes we need to ask questions, okay? After listening to something, we must ask questions, the right questions. So it could be possible that a person is very fond of someone and they've waited for 4 years, 5 years, and finally they get a chance, and as soon as they get a chance, they go all out. The other person gets a little bit scandalized with that all out kind of expression, and they say, okay, no, this is not something I can deal with. Now the obsessed person gets a heartbreak. The obsessed person feels, I'm not getting the respect I want. I need this, I need that. That can be some of the people going through this kind of situation. That can be the scenario for some of the people who are going through this kind of situation. Now, when we look at platonic situations, it could be a mother is obsessed with one of her child, and she's so obsessed that she is getting overprotective, overpossessive, over demanding. She's going to the school and fighting with the teachers. She's in the house fighting with the help and all the people who are helping her, or she's fighting with the nannies. Small little things, she is creating a drama. She acts like she is given birth to God, God himself or herself, or Lord Almighty has taken birth from her womb. So she starts acting like, there's nothing wrong. The baby is crying also, she's going to blame 100 other people around. For everything, she's going to be dramatic because that mother is obsessed. She's not in love with the child, she's obsessed with the child. So whether this is just an example, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a parent child or child parent, sometimes I've seen there is so much sibling rivalry that one of the child is obsessed with their mother or father, that they see the other siblings like some kind of an attack. If the mother loves their brother or sister a bit too much, or the father loves the brother sister a bit too much, they get so mad and angry. They're always competing against their own siblings, always, because they just want to be the favorite of their parents, either a mother or father. So this type of obsessive love is not nice. Sometimes, with a pet, a person gets obsessed. With the animal, a person gets obsessed, and they are going mental. They are torturing the animal only, making it overeat, making it a very delicate. It's not a delicate being. It wants to run around, go wild, be happy, but they are constantly like, oh my God, treating that being like the being is gonna get hurt by everything, right? So the karmic energy in anybody's life actually is a good thing, because when the obsessed person acts as if they don't give a shit, then the other person feels bad. Now you could be someone who is now very wise. So the first card itself is telling me you're wise, you're giving advice to other people. Sometimes you know a lot about love, you're watching collective readings, you're doing inner work, or you're in therapy. Something is going on with you, but you act wise. Now, with all of this knowledge that you have about love and about relationships, you are actually having an upper hand towards handling a person who feels that they are facing a hardship or a negative challenge or a situation where they feel that everything is bad, everything is against them, everything is like very difficult. I'm telling you, if it's directly happening to you, it could be possible that somebody is very obsessed with you. Maybe they were so obsessed that you told them, look, you're very obsessed, this is not what love is all about, this is not love, this is madness, now you need to act in this way or that way. So now this person starts acting up. First they chase you, pursue you, they're mad for you, they're acting like wildly for you, and suddenly when they don't get the right response from you, they act as if they don't even exist. Now even if you are just concerned for this person, like, are you okay, where are you, what's up, there was a time you were getting like 30 messages or 30 calls from this person in a day. Now there's not even one. So you could be thinking either this person really obsessed, or is this person just acting as if they were obsessed? Maybe it was just a rebound situation, or they were just trying their hands at whatever could be given to them. So the next card that kind of supports this is Three of Swords. I am being shown that whosoever this person is, they are not able to handle a heartbreak. They could be very heartbroken, they could be very scared, and as I said, it's not necessary you're handling someone who's very romantic, or it's a romantic situation. It could be a very platonic situation. You could be handling an obsessed mother, an obsessed pet lover, an obsessed sister, obsessed brother. Why are they connected with you? Why God connected you with that person? So that you can show this person that this type of madness is not acceptable. Maybe you had sympathy towards this person for a while. Maybe you felt that they are going through a lot, they got heartbroken, they are very much in doubt, they are scared, or whatever it is that this person was giving you. Maybe you had sympathy towards this person. Whether, as I said, even in romantic cases, like you felt bad for a person. Somebody has a crush on you for last 10 years or 5 years, and they connect with you, although you know that they don't match with you, or they don't gel with you, or their nature is not very conducive to whatever you do in life. So out of affection or out of concern, you know, try to sort of mentor this person or coach this person. Because see, at the end of the day, all twin flames who heal become coaches and mentors only, not professionally, but even in real life, real world. Professionally, you could be doing whatever you want to do. Maybe some of you can also be healers or guides or coaches, okay? But what I'm being shown is slightly different right now. I'm being shown that this is a life thing. It's a lifetime thing. It's a life hack that God is teaching you. Because wherever you go, and as you increase your inner work, as you increase your area of work or your volunteering duties, or just as a person, when you glow more and more, you're going to attract more and more people in your life. And more people will be attracted to the light in you. More and more people are drawn to the mystery in you. Why this person is happy. So you will see a lot of obsessed people in general also. Obsessed, stressed, and some of them will act as if they are obsessed, or act as if they are in trouble, or act as if they are depressed, because they know that you are helpful or you might have some knowledge. Like it happens with me also sometimes when somebody gets to know that I'm a tarot card reader, then even if it's a normal scenario, they will start saying, I need your help, let's, you know, sit in one corner, I want to share all my problems with you. If I tell them, we can do later on also this, we are in a different setup right now, it's not a good time to talk about it. No, you have to listen to me, give me 10 minutes and give me 20 minutes. And just an example, not that I'm minding it, but there are times and occasions or places or situations where you can't. So this is for all those people who have this aura now. You have this aura, you have a glow up. So people who are in lower energies, lower frequencies, will get attracted to the glow up or the aura or the light. They'll fall in love with you, or they'll like you, or they'll see you as a source of inspiration, source of positivity. And with everyone, you cannot be over sympathetic. And this is that situation. So initially, maybe you were feeling bad for this person, but now you realize that you are a natural implementer. You do things, or you put your effort. You of course let God do everything, but you're not just sitting there depending on other people to do your task or do your chores. You are a very independent person. You set your goals. This is the Knight of Pentacles energy, the earth energy, the self-disciplined energy. Someone, if you get bored, you're not gonna call up 20 people and try to have a talk to them. You will rather do something you love. You have your own hobbies. You know, you are a hardworking, productive person, unlike a lot of people who are in those energies where they just want sympathy and affection and attention. You're not an attention seeker. You're very methodical and you're a very focused person. So when you see these type of people, remember initially I had spoken about vengeance and revenge. Here also I'm being shown this thing. It could also be possible, interestingly, that there is somebody around you whom you like. You also like that person, but you feel the same kind of vengeance vibe from them, that maybe they were really showing interest in you, but it was not the right way of showing interest. So you did not reciprocate that way. You believe in divine timing, you believe in God's work also. Maybe you felt at that point in time that, you know, this is not the right way to pursue someone or right way to even approach someone. If you want to approach someone, you have to do it respectfully. You have to do it in a much better way. You have to be more action oriented, and you have to show to the other person that yes, I am in love, or I am liking you for a responsibility that I am willing to take for the whole life. Like when we take care of an animal, we don't pet the animal only when the animal is looking cute or happy or nice. We also pet that animal when the animal is barking, when the animal is angry, when the animal is sick in our house. We are talking about pets here. Cats or dogs or parrots, or even people who raise cows, and you know, those who take care of cattle. So you don't hang out with people only in good times. You don't hang out with people only for all the beauty they bring in, physical beauty. You are gonna be with people all throughout. This kind of obsessive love usually turns into revenge, Five of Swords energy, where the other person is going to make it all about victory and my ego, and I should be treated like this with respect, and I should be given. There is a difference in respecting the ego and respecting the soul, in respecting divine timing and respecting your own wish and will and mood swings. There's a big difference in that. So now you are a kind of person with the Knight of Pentacles energy, you are dealing with Five of Swords energy. And I'm being shown true love is also there, because the Lovers card is not just shown when it comes to what you call it, romantic connections. The Lovers card is also shown for platonic connection. So the love is true, but it could be possible that the format of love is not correct. Maybe someone who has a crush on you is actually very inspired by what you do in life, and when you handle them well, then they are going to learn that they're going to be more responsibility oriented, and they're going to understand the role you have in their life. Maybe with the partner, you need to guide them, you need to teach them that, look, there is a way that even a partnership works. So here you are the Hierophant, you are the mentor, you are the counselor, you are the teacher. You got to take that role. Even if it's family relationship, even if it's love relationship, it's friendship, it's whatever. Here I'm being shown that God is telling you that you are the one who is supposed to be the one who has the upper hand, but you're not the type of person who's doing it to boss around, because when this whole obsession energy arises, then the other person also tries to boss around and interrogate a lot. They try to put others down. That is not your energy. And your energy is more of the Hierophant, the Knight of Pentacles, very calm, composed, the Empress energy. You are very creative. Now, God is also trying to tell you that you need to sometimes use a bit of softer emotion to handle such cases or handle such obsessed people. But also, it's not all the time you have to be soft, okay? Sometimes you can be soft in terms of explaining them the things. It's going to be bitter. But when you know that it's also a medicine, and medicine is not going to taste very delicious, you can maybe give it in the food, in some tasty dish, or you can talk about the benefits, or you can, like with kids, when we are giving them medicine, we do like a game with them. With animals we do this a lot. We don't make them see that it's a medicine that's going in their food. We'll crush the medicine and add some of their favorite food into it so that they just quietly eat it, they don't get it. It's the medicine. You have to give this medicine to that person who's obsessed. How are you going to give it? You have to find some creative way to do it. In some cases you have to show them anger, in some cases you have to show them a bit of fear, in some cases you have to show them a bit of love. You have to make it very poetic. In some cases you have to sort of linger on and then give them the answer. So God is saying that use your creativity, use your intuition and femininity, because femininity, intuition over here. So to reach this one love energy, God is saying use the masculine and feminine energies like a tool, not as an identity but as a tool. Then we have King of Pentacles. Now this is also telling me that sometimes these obsessive cases are being given to you in your own life so that your own inner work and your own shadow work can improve. Or you could be in mission, so God is sending you people to help you with your mission work, to help you with your inner work. And we forget that. We tend to forget that. We also get very attached with them in a very physical manner or egotistical manner. We forget that they could be here for a purpose. We all are here for a purpose. We all are souls. We are not bodies, but we forget that, right? So this reading is to help you realize that and remind you that you are here for a certain stipulated period of time, and you are going to leave this planet sooner or later. Everybody has to go. everybody's return ticket has already been booked. It's a temporary reality and temporary life. So God is just giving you this very positive sign that these people are meant to be in your life, but their way of loving is very distorted right now. And you're the one who understands that. You're the one who's working on all of this. You're the one who's doing inner work. Now, for them, you don't need to do any inner work, because this is reversed Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is the card of inner work in most cases. But what God is showing over here, what divine energies are telling you, telling all of us, is that you have put in a lot of effort. You've been very focused so far, very focused and very mission oriented or inner work oriented or love oriented. You just wanted to achieve your goals and you put in everything into your self development and becoming someone who is perfect in certain things. But now is the time to practice. It's time for mastery. It's time for skill development. Take this as a skill, because your area of your energy is spreading around now. Your aura is becoming more inclusive. Very interestingly, I'm also being shown, there's a voice which is telling me that this could also be connected to someone in your professional capacity, in your professional area. It could be someone who's very obsessed. They're very obsessed with the files being sent on time, small little things, like not in a positive way, because there is a positive way of doing things and there's a negative way of doing things. So this person is very obsessed, and hence they are always arguing and fighting, and they're always trying to put people in that spot that, look, you're not doing it correctly. So they're creating a very nervous energy, and they only like certain type of people, and you may not be that person who they like a lot. They could be very much affectionate towards you, they could be really loving towards you, but when it comes to some kind of task that you're involved in with this person, they could be acting all mental sometimes, like a mental person. They could be going all like a headless chicken, like getting upset and getting very emotional and taking it all very personally, taking it to the ego, not focused on the common goal or the common mission or the common thing that they are doing for the goodwill of others, for the growth of other people, for the progress of other people. So whosoever this person is, they are forgetting that point, and you are being placed by God in that capacity or on that platform for a reason. You're not supposed to take anything this person is doing personally. On the contrary, you're supposed to be very grateful to God for the opportunity that God has given to you, for the place God has given to you, because this person is going to make you feel like you're wrong, you don't know anything, because this person is going to make you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not doing it correctly. I mean, it's not being done from a place of love and affection. It's being done from a place of obsession. It's not like they're obsessed with you, but they're obsessed with the role they have. They're so obsessed with that role, like a headmistress of a school, She's obsessed with being the headmistress. So she's just going berserk every day with the students or with the other teachers, not realizing that sometimes she needs to just let it go and be chill. And in some cases, she needs to be strong and disciplined. So she could be favoring a lot of students who are, very sweet to her. It's that kind of energy I'm being shown. It's not just the headmistress case. It could be you're working in a company and you have this boss and or someone who's on a senior position now, they have some favorites, and the favorites may not be worthy enough for whatever they're doing. The favorites may not be good enough for whatever they're doing, but this person who's on the higher superior post is really fond of sugarcoating, and it could be a nepotistic environment also, or it could be time frame based thing also. Somebody's put like 30 years into doing something. Okay, let me favor this person. some of the people could be doing stuff only for the post or only for the chair and only for the position, not really doing it out of love. You are doing it out of love, you're doing it out of service, you're doing it out of surrender, you're doing it out of God's connection, the source integration. But some of the people do not realize it, they don't understand it, so they try to create difficulties in your path. But you are the Hierophant over here. You're not supposed to take any of this personally, and you're not supposed to bother about it at all. You're supposed to let it go, because everything is any which way happening with God's wish and will. They don't have any control. They're acting like they have control. They're pretending like they have control. They think they have control. They think they are doing certain kind of duty or responsibility. But no, it's actually God who has decided what role a certain person is going to play and when. And maybe as per that, you not getting to play a certain role at a certain time is also a planning of God. So all these obsessive energies around you are basically telling me that you need to now take charge of the role that God has given to you. And on this lovely note, I'm going to close this collective reading. You can get into personal sessions, private readings, and also therapies with me. Without therapy and without healing, the things just linger on. They just stay there. For some time, yeah, with counseling you feel good, but again they come back because somewhere in the core, it's deep rooted. It needs to be uprooted from wherever it is. That pattern, that loop, that problem, because it's coming back over and over again. That is what we do in energy healing or therapy. We have different types of therapies. We also have therapies which are based off protecting you from demonic attacks. These are all very difficult therapies. Guys, I want to give you one point before I leave from this session. Very few people are going to do these type of therapies because these are very dangerous therapies. Helping you get protection against negative entities and demons is not a matter of joke. Helping you get protection from narcissistic energies which are there in your system for so long. You know, when we try to heal a person, we try to teach them gratitude or get out of your negativity. They get so volatile sometimes. It's not them, it's the pattern inside of them. They can say a lot of mean things, a lot of words which they actually should be saying to someone else who's hurt them, but they cannot. Therapy and healing, that's why maximum healers, only I think 15 to 20% do one-on-one sessions. And nowadays I see only 5%. Everybody else is just sending recorded messages, customize it and record it and send it away. They don't want to deal with the person one-on-one because it's too much work needs to be done. Nobody likes to do so much extra work and then not even get thank you in return, or not even get like some kind of happiness, like, yeah, I'm doing great now, I'm feeling better. Because people have made this whole thing so professional that the healers are also becoming very professional now. The healers have also said, okay, if you want to make it so cut to cut, so time bound and this way and that way, then I'm also going to do the same. Which is why a lot of people don't want to do it. They don't want to deal with so much negativity coming from other people. And the kind of work I do, I am 100% sure that this is a very spiritual, very energetic journey. It's a supernatural journey. So there are all types of entities that people sometimes get attacked by and they carry it with them. So when a healer comes into the picture, the entities think that, okay, this is my enemy right now. I need to attack this person. So one needs to have very deep rooted grounding, protection, inner work and even service. Two things, inner work plus service, mission work plus inner work. Only then a person can help you. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen? It's going to come back to you. I have such healers. They heal somebody. Now they are stuck with those energies. So I'm helping the healers also and I'm helping non-healers also. How is it happening? It's happening because of the solar plexus energy and the mother energy. The divine mother and solar plexus is Kali mother, the Kali energy. The Kali energy is the demon slayer energy, and the Ram energy is everything. the energy that you need, the Manipur chakra energy, city of jewels, all your jewels and gifts are here. So we need to fix this. Only then this separation will turn into one love. So one love, peace out. When love you have peace everywhere. So victory to Ram. Thank you to masters, to souls, and all the benevolent beings, the spirit guides in our spirit team who are taking care of us. Big thank you to them, big shout out to them for doing this lovely work for this collective. See you in the next one.